What's poppin' YouTube? This is your brother, the MOPOWERZ, where knowledge is power. And today's lesson is going to be a series on the book entitled The World's 16 Crucified Saviors by Percy Graves. If you have never read this book, it is your day today because we're going to go through this whole book. This book is 242 pages long, so we're going to be here a while, and I hope that you enjoy this book reading series of this great information that I'm about to bring to you, which should clarify some religious claims of there only being one Savior, or that their Savior is the Savior for humanity. The World's 16 Crucified Saviors, Chapter 1, Rival Claims of Savior. It is claimed by the disciples of Jesus Christ that he was of supernatural and divine origin, that he had a human being for a mother and a God for his father. Although he was woman conceived, he was deity begotten and molded in human form, but comprehending in essence a full measure of the infinite Godhead, thus making him half human and half divine in his sublunary origin. It is claimed that he was full and a perfect God and a perfect man, and while he was God, he was also the Son of God, and as such was sent down by his Father to save a fallen and guilty world, and that thus his mission pertained to the whole human race, and his inspired seers are made to declare that ultimately every nation, tongue, kindred, and people under the heaven will acknowledge allegiance to his government. Did you get that? And his government, and concede his right to reign and rule the world, that every knee must bow, every tongue must confess that Jesus is Lord, to the glory of God the Father. But we do not find this prophecy has ever been or is likely to be fulfilled. We do not observe that this claim to be the infinite deityship of Jesus Christ has been or is likely to be universally conceded. On the contrary, it is found that by a portion, and a large portion that I may add, of people of even those nations now called Christians, this claims to have been steadily and unswervingly controverted through the whole line of history, stretching through the nearly 2,000 years which have elapsed since the advent to earth. Even some of those who are represented to have been personally acquainted with him, some of his own brethren in the flesh, children in the same household, children of the same mother, had the temerity to question the tenableness of his claim to a divine emanation. And when we extend our researches to other countries, we find this claim so far from being conceded, it is denied and contested by whole nations upon other grounds. It is met and confronted by rival claims. Upon this ground, hundreds of millions of the established believers in divine revelations, hundreds of millions of believers in the divine character and origin of religion, eject the pretension set up for Jesus Christ. They admit both a God and a Savior, but do not accept Jesus of Nazareth as being either. They admit a Messiah, but not the Messiah. These nations contend that the title is misplaced, which makes the man Christ Jesus the Savior of the world. They claim to have been honored with the birth of the true Savior among them, and defend this claim upon the ground of priority of date. They aver that the advent of their messiahs were longer prior to that of Christians, and that the circumstance adjudicates for them a superiority of claim as to having had the true Messiah born upon their soil. It is argued that the story of the incarnation of Christian Savior is more recent date than that of these Oriental and ancient religions, as is conceded by Christians themselves. The origin of the former is thus indicated and foreshadowed as being an outgrowth from, if not a plagiarism upon the latter, a borrowed copy of which the pagan story furnishes the original. Here, then, we observe a rivalship of claims as to which the remarkable personages who have figured in the world of saviors, messiahs, and sons of God in different ages and in different countries can be considered the true savior and sent of God, or whether all should be, or the claims of all rejected. This is very interesting, you all. I really hope that you all are taking notes. For researchers into Oriental history reveal the remarkable fact that stories of the incarnate gods answering to and resembling the miraculous character of Jesus Christ have been prevalent in most, if not all, the principal religious heathen nations of antiquity. And the accounts of narrations of some of these deified incarnations bear such a striking resemblance to that of the Christian Savior, not only in their generation features, but in some cases in most minute details, from the legend of the Immaculate Conceptions to that of the crucifixion and subsequent ascension into heaven, that one might almost be mistaken for another. More than 20 claims of this kind, claims of being invested with divine honor, deified, have come forward and presented themselves at the bar of the world with their credentials to contest the verdict of Christendom, and having proclaimed Jesus Christ, the only Son and sent of God, 20 messiahs, saviors, and sons of God, according to the history or tradition, have in past times descended from heaven and taken upon themselves the form of men, clothing themselves with human flesh and furnishing incontestable evidence of a divine origin by various miracles, marvelous works, and superlative virtues. And finally, these 20 Jesus Christ, accepting their character for the name, laid the foundation for the salvation of the world and ascended back to heaven. And here is a list of those saviors here on the screen right now.